Hi everyone, welcome to Quanta Therapies' first Q&A. I thank you for taking the time to come join us, and I am hoping that this is something that we're going to do on the second Wednesday of every month. And I thank everybody for having sent in their questions. This gives us a really nice way to sort of kick things off, and we're actually able to talk about things that you're actually interested in. So we'll start out. People are very interested in protocols, and so we are actually in the process. You might have seen on the Facebook group that we are in the process of building a library of protocols. And this library will exist within the Quanta Therapies website. And if you log in and go to the forum, it will actually be within the forum, which actually brings me to talk about the new forum. Many of you are not on Facebook, and so you've missed out on a lot of the community interaction that we have. And so we have been able to actually start the Quanta forum within the website. What you need to do is use your practitioner login, log into Quanta Therapies, and then on the right side next to the Quanta store, you will have a click link to the forum. And in the forum, you will be able to get notifications about what's happening at Quanta. You will see the protocols that we're posting. You can ask questions. You can share your protocols. And this is where we're all going to communicate, just so that we can have everything contained, and people who don't have Facebook don't feel like they're being left out. Now, the other thing I want to talk about the forum is that the forum really is going to be the core of our community. We all come into Quanta with exceptional modalities. We come into it with skills and passions that other people don't have. But we're all here with the desire to actually have help our clients. So I do encourage you to have this open conversation where we can post protocols, whether they've worked, whether they haven't worked, whether you've seen new research that someone else might not have seen. This is our community. This is how we grow as practitioners. This is how we are going to be able to grow as a company. So I really encourage you to sort of check into the forum and participate. And if you're having any technical issues with getting into the forum, with logging in, please email webmaster@quantatherapies.com. So any technical issues, webmaster@quantatherapies.com. The other thing I want to talk about protocols is that we will be launching the official Quanta Level 1 manual in 4 to 6 weeks, and it will also have protocols in there. Protocols within the library will be split into Level 1 and Level 2 because we want people to be really, really comfortable and confident using Level 1 patches and how it can be integrated into their practice before you sort of get into the more complex things. And I think that is the biggest thing I want to stress about protocols. Quanta Therapies exists to augment your practice. This is an incredible tool. This is a very powerful tool, but it is only as incredible and as powerful and as magical as it can be when it is seamlessly integrated into all the really cool stuff that you're already doing. You could be doing the movement stuff, you could be doing the taping, laser, ultrasound, manual therapy, gua sha, acupuncture, acupressure, Reiki, all of this have all the modalities that you're using are extremely, extremely powerful, and now we are just augmenting that. And our goal here at Quanta is to figure out and to teach you how to augment it seamlessly into your clinical practice so that you can get those magical results for your clients. I will come back more. I'll come and talk more about the workbook in a second. But the next question we had was investment opportunities in Quanta. Are there investment opportunities in Quanta? The short answer is yes, absolutely. So Quanta is a registered Delaware C corporation. The reason we became a Delaware C corporation is so that we could take investments from around the world and have people be part of this community. We are currently in the process of getting into our second round of fundraising, and the prospectus, the forecast, the business plan will be released shortly. Our capitalization table is currently being signed off by our lawyers, and once that is done, we will be able to send out information about the investment opportunities. If you are interested in investing, please do reach out to me. You can either reach out to me on my email, fiona.gilbert@quantatherapies.com, or you can email hello@quantatherapies.com, and we will be able to have that conversation with you. So when we started Quanta, the minimum investment was $10,000 US. We are going to maintain that, and you can buy increments of that to, I believe, a maximum of $125,000 US. The second round of fundraising, we are looking at potentially raising $300,000. With the very simple goals of bringing down our manufacturing costs, increasing our marketing and education budget so that we can access resources to keep growing the community. Which then leads me to the online education. Now, I'm very, very happy to announce that Susan Stanley will be coming on as our head of education. And Sue is in the process of completing our level 1 manual. So let me talk about the level 1 manual. The level 1 manual is going to be available for everybody who is already a Quanta practitioner, which means that if you have an account to Quanta, you will receive this workbook manual completely free, and it will teach you about the foundations of bioenergy, the healing systems, how we change the environment, how we change the resonance in the body to heal, as well as a collection of protocols. Now, the protocols in there are taught so that you are able to understand the thought process behind building customized, individualized protocols for your clients. Then there will be level 2. Level 2 will actually be a webinar. The reason we're doing all of these changes to the education program is because it has been, so many people have been very interested in the education, but unfortunately, between timing, cost of travel, taking time away from your clinics and your practice, taking time away from your family, it has become a huge challenge for a lot of people to come to the education. So in order for us to fix that situation, we are going to have these 3 levels of education. So the first level will be the manual. You can download it, you can learn, you can join the forum, and you can start integrating Quanta into your practice. Level 2 will be more in-depth, more systemic, and it will be an online webinar, which will allow you to have it will be small groups. You will have direct interface with your instructor, and it'll be a live webinar. But towards the end of the year, probably around November, this is when we put out the gold standard of Quanta education, which is the live workshops. It will be where you do your level 1, your level 2, and then some specialty stuff, because you will have 2 days with an instructor. And I believe that there is nothing better than having that live workshop, that interaction, that touch, the feel, the experience, to get the best out of it. However, given the simplicity of use, of the patches, of the technology, there is no reason you can't successfully and efficiently integrate Quanta into your existing practice. So keeping all those things in mind, level 1 is going to be a user manual that you can download. Level 2 will be webinars, and then you can have the whole Quanta experience with a live workshop. So that's kind of where we're going. That's where we're going as a company, and I'm very, very excited about that, because the goal of Quanta from the first day was to make this technology as available as possible. It is technology that is intuitive to use. It is technology that can be the stimulus that your client's body is looking for to start the healing process, or to continue the healing process. And I want to make sure that everybody gets access to it as they want to. Which I think leads me to talking about the mind and body, the mind and motion patches, but more importantly, the healing philosophy here at Quanta is that we are not providing, well, the reality is there's nothing that exists in the world that can heal the human body except for the human body. So what we do at Quanta is that we are facilitators to that healing. We are giving your body a change in environment for it to heal. We are changing its ecosystem. We are changing, we're changing the stimulus to give it the optimal stimulus for it to resonate and to heal and to do what it was built to do. So one of the questions is, can I go through all the mind and motion patches? Absolutely. Every person that probably comes into your practice will leave with a mind and motion patch. The question is, which one do you pick for them? You will also see in the Quanta protocols, we will have a couple of spots that will say mind and motion patch, pick one. And so this is when it really becomes very customizable to the person sitting in front of you, to their needs, to what is going on in their lives right now. So mind, body, ease. Mind, body, ease is your general stress and anxiety patch. You can use it on adults as well as children, and it's just an overall chill pill. Mind body support is the patch that is a much more outburst type of emotion. And when I say that is when people say to you, you know, they're there and suddenly they say, you know, I feel this wave of emotion, I feel this aggression, or I feel like I just can't control it. So when they start using language like that, you know that they're going to need a mind support patch. And emotional balance. Emotional balance was specifically designed for hormonal emotional fluctuations. So PMS, menopause. If they say, you know, I sit there and I'm watching the television and suddenly an ad with puppies come on and I can't stop crying. That's the patch you want to use for that. Trauma response. Trauma response was developed for PTSD. Now, trauma response doesn't mean that the PTSD goes away, but what it does is that it alters the fight or flight response when that person goes through that PTSD response. And so what this means is it allows them to sit in that moment. It allows them to sit, I suppose, almost sit in that trauma so that they can do things like cognitive behavioral therapy, that they can do things like biofeedback therapy without wanting to shut down. So trauma response is one of those absolute magic patches. I would actually combine all of these patches with things like with SLD boost, which is serotonin, leptin, dopamine, melatonin in a patch. All of that will also manage that neurological biochemistry. Mind support. Mind support is a nootropic. Mind support allows you to have focus. Mind support really works on if you have ADHD, or if you're procrastinating, if you're tired, it really sort of just sharpens what's going on. For people with brain fog, mind support and pain complex in the C-spine is a magic combination. And definitely, you know, a lot of people just have had really, really good results with it. Child balance. Child balance is an adaptogenic. Child balance is for kids who are either ADHD or they're feeling lethargic all the time. It's really it's an optimal vibrational setting. So if they are overactive, it can help soothe them. If they're underactive, it can stimulate them. So always remember the way that we do the patches. It's like you're a very complex piano or a complex violin. You do need a little bit of tuning, but you tune to something that has to set. So if you know that your liver is supposed to be vibrating at a level, but your liver is vibrating above or under that, it will start wanting to reach that level of homeostasis, of optimal vibration. So that is essentially how all the patches work. All the patches are adaptogenic. And it's sound. So it's adaptogenic sound. And once you grasp that concept, the application and the protocol development just becomes very easy and instinctive. So let me go through the patches again really quickly, the mind emotion patches, so that you remember what they are. Mind body ease is your general stress and anxiety. Mind body support is for when you have those outbursts or that aggression response. Emotional balance is for your hormonal based emotional fluctuations. Trauma response is more for your PTSD. Mind support is your nootropic, and child balance is for anyone under the age of 13. Now, when they are at about the 13 to 14, 15-year-old phase, their brain biochemistry starts changing. So at around that time, again, it's very individual. At around that time, you can start deciding, or you can let the teenager, decide which patch resonates with them better. And that is the perfect thing for them. So because you can just take it off and that stimulus stops, it becomes very easy to be able to create a customized plan for the person in front of you. So I definitely encourage you to look into that. So the next question is, will Quanta be developing more patches? Yes and no. So let me give you a quick understanding of how patches get developed. We currently have 65 different patches in our catalog, and all the patches have a master frequency, as in its primary function, followed by supportive frequencies, which is all the other elements that support the functioning, increase the functioning of the primary function and of the master frequencies. So we essentially have covered a lot of things, a lot of systems, and there really isn't a need. We think it's quite holistic, and until a need comes up to develop something that perhaps we don't have access to, then we probably are not going to be developing anything. Having said that, we have been talking to the engineers since about March about putting into our catalog 5-MeO-DMT to treat sort of the anxiety, the pineal gland, severe depression, some psychosis. So we're not even to the point of being able to put it into a patch right now, but we are in that exploratory phase. So patch development does take time. It does have a cost involved. If there is a patch that you are interested in, do reach out to us, because I guess my question, if you have that question, is what are you trying to achieve, and can we achieve it with the 65 patches that we already have? Because all the patches are compound, they're very comprehensive, and a lot of the times it is a matter of creating the right combination for the result that you're trying to get, rather than going straight to, oh my goodness, we just need a new patch. So this is something that you can email me, or you can pop into the forum, and then we can have that conversation. Because I think part of it is understanding what is our goal, and if it's something that we really don't have access to, we can look into that patch development. And of course, there's also the economics of that. But it's definitely, as a clinician, I will always love to have that conversation with you. Whether we can make it a reality as a company is another question to be had. So what else can I tell you about patches? Very cool thing about patches is that you can only program them with natural substances. Anything that is considered synthetic, even though it has a frequency, cannot be programmed into the patches. So think about that when you're looking at asking about us creating more patches as well. Next question is, patches in cancer patients, are they designed for cancer treatment? I'm assuming that question means, can the patches be used while the cancer patient is undergoing treatment? If they're undergoing treatment, absolutely. Or, the treatment doesn't affect the patches. When you have a cancer patient, when you're putting chemotherapy or radiation through a cancer patient, it is so harsh on the body. It is so harsh on every single system. So what the patches will do, especially things like the antioxidant patches, the free radical support, the advanced repair, even the pain patches, pain acute, pain complex, essentially everything in the pain and repair category will help their body be more resilient to any treatments that they are receiving. So definitely feel free to use it with cancer patients. And definitely also put in a minor motion patch, just because the entire experience is so emotionally, psychologically, physically, spiritually taxing on them. Usually what I do is, if I do have a client who is going through chemotherapy or radiation, I usually end up putting a mind-body ease on every one of their family members as well, because again, we're all connected to each other, and that healing has to come from everything around you, and having your family be also in a good space will definitely help your healing process. So I hope that answers the question about cancer treatment. So the next question is about allergic reaction to patches. which patients and practitioners are having. So let me explain to you how the patches are made. The top of the patch, which is mylar with a carbon crystalline composite. The mylar is the base foundational structure, and then the carbon crystalline composite is the component that allows the sound to be programmed and held. The back of the patch is a adhesive made by 3M. Now, the adhesive portion of it is the only part of the patch that is FDA approved. It is FDA approved because that is the part that touches human skin. But it is just a vehicle to put the patch as close to human skin as possible. It doesn't actually have to adhere to human skin or any skin. It does not have to adhere to you for the patch to work. So this means you can put the patch in underwear. You can pop them in someone's bra. You can pop it. You can stick it onto the inside of their clothing. You can put a bandage or a gauze on your skin, and then put the patch on. So that's the technical aspect of skin allergies and the patches. However, as a clinician, if you come to me and you say, I'm having an allergic reaction to the patch, this is what happened, I can see it, my first instinct is, okay, there is a system, probably your lymphatics, that is not functioning well, and that needs to be taken care of because you are having an unusual histamine response to the adhesive. So I would as a clinician, would treat that, and I would treat that by literally put the patch into their clothes, or actually use a bracelet. The bracelets can hold up to 4 frequencies. In the next couple of weeks, we will be actually putting out a lymph bracelet that people can buy without having to customize one for themselves. So in terms of allergic response, as the clinician, I will say to you, let's find out what else is going on. Let's fix that. And the reaction to the adhesive is part of a bigger issue. However, in terms of technical use, you don't need to have the adhesive on skin for the patches to work. You can put a bandage and put it on top of the bandage. You can, some people don't even take it off the backing. Some people just put it into their underwear, and the patches will work. The adhesive is merely a transportation system for it. Now, on a clinical level, when you tell me that you are actually having an allergic reaction to the patches, the first thing I want to look at is your lymphatic system and your histamine response. So there's actually 2 parts to this. So one, if you're having an allergic reaction to the patches, I really want to look at you systemically and see what's going on, and what have we missed or what have we not addressed. However, on a technical level, on how do I use the patch if there is an allergic response, is yes, you can absolutely use the patch if the client does have a histamine response, because it does not actually have to be adhered to them. Another option that's actually really good for a lot of people is that if they do have such a big response, is that they do go straight to a bracelet. They do the bracelet immediately, and then they have these patches on lymph nodes to start clearing that system out. And so that goes back to cancer treatment. This is sound. This is, you can't really have, you're giving sound to the body, and you are going to get a response. I don't want to say that there's really no side effects, because everybody responds to things differently. But when you think of it and you understand that this is sound and we're applying sound to the body, it changes how you treat. And that's where when you have someone in front of you, you can see them for what's going on right now, and it's the efficacy of the patches. It's the efficacy of the patches that you pick that would make the biggest difference to them. So, what else is there? Oh, the new forum is up and going. Please do feel free to go in and start introducing yourself and working through that. So people have also asked if this Q&A sessions are going to be a regular event. Yes, it is going to be. We have set it for every second Tuesday of each month. Fortunately, unfortunately, because of the time zone issues, this seemed like the best time. However, if it gets to the point where people in Europe, especially because it's after midnight in Europe, we may have to have two different Q&As to help everybody around the world. But I think for now, given that most of our practitioners are in Asia, Australia, and North America, this is a time that will be working out until it doesn't. So second Wednesday of each month at 4 p.m. Pacific time is when we will be doing these webinars. There have been some issues with the website, or some people have issues logging in. Please email webmaster@quantatherapies.com. So, and we will take care of all your tech issues then. I think for a lot of folks, sorry, we just had a question come in. Bonnie, since you're here, I can't quite see this one. Sorry, hang on. What I'm going to do is, we've just got a question in from Bonnie that says, can a disc be too strong for a patient? And has this happened with an eye disc? So, Bonnie, can you clarify what you mean by too strong? And what I'm going to do is maybe go into, because I might be able to fix a human body, but everyone knows that I do have trouble with technology. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to get off this screen. I'm going to stop screen sharing so that I can actually see Bonnie's message coming through. Or not. This is when I email webmaster. Give me a second. So, Bonnie, were you treating the macular degeneration specifically, especially around the head and neck region? So, for example, things like nerve boost, pain complex, advanced repair, sort of in the head region, lymph boost.
I'm going to go ahead and unmute Bonnie so you guys can have this conversation as opposed to going back and forth.
I didn't realize we could do that. Hey, look at this technology. Okay, is Bonnie unmuted? Or not?
I don't think Bonnie has a microphone connected right now. Hang on. I'm going to send you over this question.
Okay. Bonnie, did you try eye restore as well? So part of the healing process when it comes to the optical nerve is that it is quite a sensitive nerve, and you can do the manual manipulation. I like a little bit of laser on it as well. But there is usually, some people do notice a visual change when I put it on, because I'm getting old and need readers. There is a moment where there is a fluctuation in vision, and one of the things I usually like to do if they do have issues like this is they can take it off and put it back on. For those of you who are not familiar with this, taking a patch off, you can actually take it off, put it back on its backing, and reapply it later on. So if it's not working for them right now, if they're unsure as to, is this working, is this making it worse, is it not doing what it's supposed to do, you can actually take it off, put it back on the backing, and re-adhere it on with things like skin tack or rock tape. So that's never an issue. But in terms of macular degeneration, I usually like to be also working with their specialist, because on almost a psychological level, people do like to know that there is improvement, or people do like to know if there is numbers involved, and just having their entire care team involved in introducing a new piece of technology has been quite important in their healing process as well. And not to mention when other practitioners or healthcare professionals see the results that you can produce, they become interested in it, and they can have that conversation. Perfect. All right. Thanks, Bunny. Okay, I just saw that come through. So we will do that, and then we can keep having this conversation in the forum. Any other? Well, it looks like we do have some time. We did power through those questions. Are there more questions? And is there anything I can clarify for you with what I've said so far? Okay, I'm guessing people are comfortable and people have no questions. So we will continue this on the forum, and we will be doing this same time, same bat channel in a month. So please do. I've really appreciated everybody sending in their questions. I've really appreciated all of you sort of wanting to learn more, and we're working towards meeting that, because we're all here to learn. And so if you do have questions at any time, send them to hello@quantatherapies.com. If you're having issues with the forum, webmaster@quantatherapies.com. And if you have people who are interested in all of this, we will be rolling out that workbook, and I'm really excited about it. It's really shaping up to be something that it's exactly why I started Quanta, and it's been crazy doing this along the way. You know, you've got 7 million moving parts, and there have been some days where you wonder, oh my goodness, what am I doing? Am I doing the right thing? And the issue is that for Quanta, we want to get this technology out to as many people as possible, because it can affect change. Oh, look, we've got some questions coming in. Okay, now the patches are designed to stay on for 72 hours. The 72-hour is because of, so the 3M, the part of the patch that is FDA approved, the only part of the patch that is FDA approved is the adhesive. And the adhesive is made for us by 3M. And as part of the FDA approval process, you have to say how long this can stay on. And it averages at 72 hours because, quite frankly, having a piece of adhesion on you for more, for more than that, just gets funky. And I don't want any skin irritation to come from that. Having said that, a lot of people say to me, it's not coming off, it's not bothering me, I'm just leaving the patch on, which is completely fine. So what I usually say to a client is, I'm going to put the patch on you, it stays on until it falls off, or it stays on until it irritates you. The other thing with the patches, while we're here, and we're talking about this, is that you can bend them. You can fold them. They could be creased on, and there could be a crease in them. They're fine. It does not affect them. You can use laser on them with them. If you do use a laser with them or a LED red light, please know that the light will not go through the mylar. The light will go around the mylar, but it will not go through the mylar. So if you are using LED or laser or any any light, the common sense is that do the light therapy and then put the patches on. Or if they come over and they do they want to have laser therapy, sure. Just be aware that when you actually do this, it's not going to go through. The other thing also is that they can go through. They are already programmed. They're pretty much bulletproof. The only thing that will destroy them, well, two things will destroy them. Cutting them will break the carbon crystalline structure, and that's just a waste. So no, if you're a smaller person, you don't get to cut them and put them on you. And secondly, MRIs. The magnetic force of an MRI machine will make these null and void. But you actually have to be active in the MRI machine. So if you are walking past an MRI machine or walking through the hospital, this will not get unprogrammed. They do not affect airport scanners. They do not affect x-rays. However, again, don't wear them during an x-ray because your radiologist really does not need to see a patch on your skin through an x-ray. So just really common sense stuff. And again, if you have a client who has been put with patches and then suddenly they need to go for an x-ray, the patches can come off and then they can re-adhere them. There is no, once they come off, we've got to throw them out kind of thing. Heat will not affect them. Cold will not affect them. You just have to keep remembering this is sound. This is sound. This is not, there's no substance in this. This is, I suppose the thing is, if you put them through a fire, that's not a good thing. So if you think of them as a CD, music CD, which I'm sure they don't produce anymore, that's what you're looking at. And you can treat it as such, is if you don't cut your CD, if you don't put it through an MRI machine, and if you don't melt it, it will be working. Hierarchy of issues in the education. Yes. So level 1, we are going to teach you how to integrate this into your practice in a sound, super easy manner. We do want to start affecting things like the lymphatic system. We want to affect the gut, and we want to affect all of that. Now, having said that, the biggest thing with this is that, sorry, I've lost my train of thought. I'm going to come back to that. essentially, the human body is designed to heal itself. The human body is just this absolutely incredible thing, and there's nothing in the world that can actually heal the human body other than the human body. And what we want to do as a company, the way that we're setting up our protocols, is to change the environment in which the body heals. Because when we can change that environment, the body will naturally be smart enough to do what it's supposed to do. So when you look at when you see the education, you will see that the changes that we're trying to make is that how do we change the environment so the body has the best chance of healing? And we know that if things like the lymphatic system and the circulation and the gut are not doing what it's supposed to do, nothing is going to do what it's supposed to do. So as quickly as possible, we want to affect that kind of change in the system. For some people who sort of say, you know, we have a very we have sensitive systems, or I don't know how to affect, you know, I don't want to put too many patches on a person because they're not sure if this is the thing that's going to work for them. I always put a lymph boost on the cisterna chili, largest lymph node in the body, starts having that connection, that movement, because the body is that sensitive, the body is that smart, that if you give it just a little bit of stimulus, it will want to heal. Its desire is to absolutely heal. So we're literally, what we do as a company is to give it the best chance possible to do what it's supposed to do. And I think if you keep that sort of philosophy in mind, it will start changing your practice, and it will start changing even how you explain this technology and why we do the type of healing that we do. And it will also give your clients and your patients a better understanding, because all of this is about empowering them. All of this is about giving them a life that they're working towards. They don't come and see us because they're feeling great. They don't come and see us because they know all the answers. So I believe philosophically, and this is, you know, me, the individual, not necessarily me, that, you know, is that we are facilitators. We are facilitators for people's healing, and we want to give them the best chance possible. So as we grow as a company, we will have this base concept of all our bioenergy products. But you will see us start putting in, new products that will augment what we do. Okay, the other thing is, people have asked, how is this different from AMR, and can the patches and the frequencies in the patches cause the same issues as we're sort of seeing with the potential concepts of 5G and cell phone towers, etc. The answer is no, absolutely no. One, the level in the frequencies are, the amount that you're getting is so low. It's a very, very low stimulus. And that is also how the patches are adaptogenic. It's setting a sound. It is setting this is where your liver should be vibrating. This is the optimal sound for what a liver should be vibrating at. If you're here, it says to the body, maybe you should be here. And if you're here, it says, well, again, maybe you should be here. So it's literally setting a target. It's setting a destination for your body to match. And you will also see that some clients take longer to have a response to a patch, because you're putting this patch on and you're saying, this is where you should be. And they could be up here, or they could be down here, or they could be really close to it. The ones that are really close to it are obviously going to be getting a much more rapid response to that sound target. And that's why you do see a variance in results. So we have a few more minutes. So I'm so glad with all these questions coming through that we can talk about. And if there's any more follow-up questions right now. Sorry. Oh, the other thing also, I was using my hands and talking about the sound levels because I have my video on, and I really am just assuming that everyone else has their video on and they can see me doing the whole hand issue targeting thing. But if you didn't, let's continue this. Let's continue this conversation in the forum. Water patches, yes. I'm assuming you mean the water chips, Quanta H2O. Truly my favorite, one of my favorite products. H2O, water. I'm going to put this out there because this is where I want to go to show people what this product actually does. Is that I'm actually looking for a lab, an independent lab, to start taking photos of the molecular structure of water as it crystallizes from a liquid to a solid, because hypothetically the understanding of what's going on is that you've got H2O, two hydrogen bonds and two hydrogen and one oxygen holding together, bouncing around. On the assumption, again, I'm using my hands, so I really am hoping that people are able to see this. So assume that it's this big when it's H2O. When we introduce the water chip to it, the frequency is making the bonds go tighter. You're making H2 and O hug each other tighter. Which means structurally you're creating a smaller molecule. When you create a smaller molecule, it means that you are able to get better intracellular hydration. It's able to do the permeation a lot more efficiently. So we're making one of the things we say is we're making water wetter, but really on a cellular level we're making water tighter. We're putting the Spanx on the water, and that Spanx is going to get into your cells a lot faster. So you will see with people, we've had a couple of practitioners who've said that they have actually been testing it, and their kidney function on blood tests have improved with the same, if not less, amount in terms of volume of hydration. So that is super cool. The other thing to also consider when we're talking about patches is cellular hydration, especially if you have clients with kidney issues or who are unable to have that much fluid. So for example, things like Parkinson's, where they have a swallowing issue, or when they sort of have had to mix it to make it more viscous so that they can drink it. I don't know if any of you have ever tried it, but it makes water disgusting. So with my Parkinson's clients, what I've done is use the H2O as well as the cellular hydration patch over the kidneys. And that seems to be making a huge difference. There's one question coming in. So 5G. 5G is going to be huge. 5G is, I was at lunch the other day and someone said, "Oh my God, they're going to be cooking us slowly and quickly." Yes and no. Well, yes and yes. So what we're trying to do as a company is to mitigate a lot of those effects. So we've got the 5G bracelets, which are designed to be worn on you so that you can literally create a little sound bubble around yourself. All of my again, I'm hoping you can see this. All of my electronic devices have the EMR on them. I have them on smart meters. I have them on the Wi-Fi box. Have them on the microwave. There are some people who've even put them on the vacuum cleaners. And so I have to say that if you're vacuuming that much, you probably should, but I apparently don't vacuum enough to put it on my vacuum cleaner. But one of the things we are looking at is potential home systems where we can have little towers around the house that can send out the same EMR defense signals. But while that is a concept that we're working on, I cannot begin to tell you when that would actually become a reality. But meanwhile, what we do have are the chips that do work and the bracelets which have just come out. So we're very aware of it. We're very cognizant of it and the reason we're doing it is not because of, oh my God, we're dying, but it's part of this resilience of the human body, is when it's being bombarded by so many things that break down the systems. Again, so again, we're talking about, and I'm using my hands, the target frequencies. So your body should be here. And when it's being bombarded by so many EMR frequencies, it starts lowering down, it starts going down, just because the systems cannot sustain that much stimulus. So we're now putting in, now there's so much more to repair. And so, but what if we can create a place where, one, you're not being bombarded, which is the chips, and two, the bracelets is we're creating natural resilience for you as well, so that you are just giving a little bit of protection around yourself from all the stimulus. Question just came through. You will be, so if you go to the website in terms of registering for webinars and classes, etc., this webinar, as long as you're on the mailing list, oh, apparently I'm not reading this question correctly. How do I see and register for webinars and classes? When will I see this on the website or forum? You will see it as soon as it's ready. I know that is probably not what you want to hear, but as soon as we do have something ready, we do let you know immediately, and it will be announced through the forum. It will be announced through a newsletter, which is how we've been doing everything, and it will be announced through social media as that develops as well. So don't ever be concerned that you will be missing out on any news that is happening at the company that you might not be aware of. So it looks like we've got 5 more minutes. Any final questions? So this comment just came through. If I have a protocol that is effective, can I send it to you for vetting or use by? Absolutely. Please, 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 please do. That is exactly what we want. The protocols we put out there, the protocols that we share, is to the best of our knowledge and to the best of, based on research, based on our understanding of bioenergy, based on what's going on. It doesn't mean that is the perfect protocol. I don't believe that there is such a thing as a perfect protocol. There is, however, the perfect protocol for that person in front of you. And we all think differently. These patches have so many different applications. These patches have so many potential that even I haven't explored yet. So if there is a protocol that you have used that has been effective, yes, I want to see it. Yes, I'd be happy to geek out about it. I'm going to be so excited about it. I will be learning something new. The community will be learning something new. And then, we can then go through the thought process of, why was this effective? How was this so effective? And we can have a complete geek out session, which is what I'm really hoping the forum will be. Is not that this is, I don't want to go up to you and sort of go, oh, hang on, I'm going to grab. So I grabbed the first one, and it says erectile dysfunction. So this is our protocol that I'm going to be posting for erectile dysfunction. It's worked, but it's not necessarily the most perfect protocol, and we are such an amazing community. I've had conversations with many of you. We think outside the box. There is no box for many of us. So our community can only grow, and our community can only be stronger than what it already is if we have this interaction. So yes, please, 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 please send me what you're doing, share your stories, share your successes, share your failures. Like, if something's not working, let's brainstorm, let's figure it out. Let's figure out how we can make it work, because it's not about the product. It's not about our egos. It's not about, at the end of the day, we're all doing what we're doing because we want to help people. We see them, we've experienced it, we've been in that position. We want to help people, and we want this to be a community that is known for putting all the stuff aside and just saying, hey, we're here to help. How can we help? And so I'm actually gonna, in the 1 minute I have, before you all get bored of me talking at you for an hour, I want to tell you this story about my last neurologist. I went through 7 neurologists before I met this particular person, and I sat in front of him and I said to him, you're my 7th neurologist. I am so done with all of you. I can't keep going. I don't know how to keep going. And he looked at me and he says, honestly, he says, I don't even know why you're here. I don't know why you're here, because I've read your file and this is not my specialty. What you have going on is not my specialty. You have already seen the best. You have already gone to the people who specialize in what you have. So he says, I really don't know why you're in front of me, but you're here, so let's have a conversation. And we talked, and he looked at me and he says, here's the deal. I am not a specialist in what you have, but I am willing to go down any path you want to go down. And I will be here to support you as best I can. And we worked together for 12 years. And he was the best neurologist for me and was so important in my healing, because there were many times he didn't know the answer. He had no clue as to what was going on, but he always said, let's work through this together. And that's the community that I want to develop. I want to develop this community where we are a partner. We're partners with each other. We're partners with our clients. We're partners with our patients. That's the key to the healing. I just saw this. Miranda, you've raised your hand. Is there a question that you want to ask? So if you hit the Q&A button, you'll be able to ask a question. By the way, Quanta H2O. Miranda, did that button work? Do they work for people with diabetes? Absolutely. What you need is we've got a glucose balance patch, which again sets them at the optimal level. What I usually do suggest with people with diabetes is to actually look at the overall endocrine system, find out what's going on through their kidney function, through all of that. But a lot of people do well, I shouldn't say a lot of people. Once the sugar levels are balanced, a bracelet works really, really well for most people. And the bracelet usually is comprised of glucobalance, endocrine support, lymph boost, and free radical support. That has worked well. I'm sure there's some people who can come up with better ones for that. But yes, there is the blood glucose. So one of the things you can also test is some people will put one on, and so before they put one on, they do the blood test, and then they'll put one on, wait 15 minutes, and do another test. And what we've seen so far is there is a difference in the before and after. So for a lot of people, that is something that really starts helping them manage their diabetes. A lot of them do come to see me because they do want to get off their medications, so we want to balance that. However, we also have to remember that this is a holistic thing. Putting a patch on you, if you're going and drinking Diet Coke or you know, whatever, that lifestyle also has to be taken into consideration. However, the way I look at the patches is that it gives you a bridge. It gives you an extra resource to reach your goal. So definitely, yes, it does work with people with diabetes. I'll be happy to answer protocol questions or go through stuff with you there. So again, like I've said, really use the forum, use us as a resource. We're always here. We're always available. And we want to have that conversation with you. And if we can do it in the forum, even better, then we can all learn as a community. Okay, so we're 5 past 5. Just making sure we're not missing any questions. If anything does come up, please reach out to us. And I'm so glad. I'm really thank you for taking this time to participate in this, and thank you for just being part of this community. We're growing stronger, we're learning, and I'm just very truly grateful that all of you are a part of it. And I look forward to, if I don't see you on the forums, if I don't see you on my phone, I look forward to talking with you next month. So same time, same bat channel, and we'll see you in a month. Thank you, everybody. Have a lovely evening, or lovely morning if you're in Australia and Asia, and we'll catch up soon. Thank you.